The visual is not important here. The music is not important here. The voice is not important here. What matters are the words. If you cannot listen to the words, you do not belong here. If you understand this, welcome to the Fate Club. In the current era, gradually loosening from old linear patterns, feelings begin to emerge that have no name, existing at the edge between the known and the new, the unidentified. People sense subtle gaps between themselves and the world. Their perception of time slows yet stretches, creating empty spaces between moments that are not yet filled by the past or the future. It is a sensation without tangible form, yet intense, like a quiet hum in the air, signaling that something is beginning to shift within the very structure of consciousness. Individuals pass through states where traditional identification with roles, opinions, and expectations fades, and an inner attention arises that no longer seeks affirmation or rejection from the outside. Within this quiet field, new emotions are born, neither joy nor sadness, neither fear nor desire, but a subtle awareness of presence expanding between body and thought, between past and potential. This state is not a release from reality, but a delicate resonance beginning to pulse inside anyone who allows themselves to be less reactive and more observant. Some feelings appear as a strange internal tension, holding a person between expected reaction and unexpected still presence. It is a condition where seemingly opposing emotions converge and create a new harmonic code, not yet recognized in words. People sense a subtle expansion of themselves, as if their inner world gradually jumps beyond old limits and boundaries that once defined them. This process may seem like a blurred, hard-to-grasp tension between what should be felt and what is actually happening, while simultaneously growing the capacity to exist in a state that no longer needs to judge or compare. The emerging feeling is a connection to something broader, not tied to the concrete world or relationships, but to subtle current of reality moving through all that is visible and invisible, beginning to shape new dimensions of human consciousness. Is not a state to be directed or controlled, nor a step that can be planned. Is a natural recalibration, a biological mental process occurring without conscious awareness, yet felt as gentle vibrations stretching through the spaces between thoughts. Every new feeling that appears is unidentifiable in traditional terms, yet carries information about the next stage of existence, no longer bound to old fears, needs, or goals, but to the capacity to be present without resistance and simultaneously internally responsive to the subtle expansion of reality. People often notice these feelings in small, seemingly insignificant moments, within the silence between conversations, in a gaze that does not demand a reply, in the space between breaths, in the place where past and future meet but do not collide. These are feelings without names, often perceived as unusual, unsettling, or confusing. Yet they are foundational elements of a transition into a new dimension of consciousness, where reality is not merely a sequence of events, but a continuous flow that can be felt even without words or definition. Some of these sensations can be described as the delicate foundations of inner silence, stretching between emotions, thoughts, and the body, while simultaneously opening a window into a new perception of self and world. This window is neither visual nor tangible, but functions as a portal through which an ascending current of consciousness begins to form. Art, which frames a window into the human soul, is in this context an expansive means into the ascending elevator of today's era, allowing a person to gently move beyond the framework of old identities and habits and begin to feel what has no name, yet is entirely real. Gradually, these feelings also begin to emerge within collective perception. People sense a subtle synchronization between one another, as if inner resonances form an invisible network connecting individuals through silence and delicate vibrations. This network requires no conventional communication, yet enables feelings larger than individual identities, signaling a new mode of shared perception of reality. Each moment these feelings appear is a gentle foretaste of how consciousness begins to expand into a space still unknown and undefined, yet already inhabitable. Some feelings can be described as the interweaving of the present moment with potential that is not yet shaped by words or actions. People sense this passing energy as a gentle pressure, not painful nor unpleasant, but rather an internal expansion that is natural and inevitable. This pressure is a quiet signal that old survival patterns and identity definitions are losing their power, and that new layers of perception are gradually activating, often without conscious consent or understanding. Inner feelings often appear in contrasts. A person may feel emptiness one moment, a subtle internal expansion the next, and these experiences overlap without conflict, forming new modes of perception. It is a state where old emotions and reactions are not suppressed or constrained, but integrated into a broader framework, where every feeling becomes part of the continuous flow of reality, simultaneously silent and pulsing, invisible and concrete. It is not necessary to define or grasp these feelings. Their value lies in their existence and in the way they transform how a person perceives themselves and the world. Every moment of allowing oneself to remain in silence and sense the unidentifiable contributes to the gentle expansion of consciousness and to the understanding that a new dimension does not arise all at once, but through layers of experience that have no name, yet are already entirely real and influential. If these feelings are held within, they become part of a natural transition, which is neither linear, dramatic, nor exceptional, but deeply human, gradual, and necessary for entry into a new reality where identity is no longer defined by external patterns, but by the subtle resonance between the inner and outer world. If you understand this, welcome to the club.